All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Capping at the Bay. I am your host, Eric Cooley. With me, as always, Mr. Patrick Grigsby, and we also have our very own Jay Branch and Ryan Whittle. Boys, uh, first off, if you guys are watching on YouTube, yes, I'm wearing not a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, it is Pittsburgh Penguins, because we got opening night on Tuesday night as my Penguins go against the Chicago Blackhawks. Guys, real quickly, they mentioned it before the game because whole Connor Bedard. I'm sure you guys keep up with a little bit of hockey. They said the first overall pick, Connor Bedard, uh, he was 38 days, not years, 38 days old when Sidney Crosby got drafted.
Dang, that's crazy.
Bruh. And then they
Was
faced off,
Crosby 18 when he got
and then
drafted?
they faced off together to start off the game.
That's wild.
Pretty wild.
I hope Crosby doesn't look himself in the mirror and was like, should I retire? Because I'm hella old. Yeah, he was 18 whenever he got drafted.
How
So
old is Crosby now?
he should be 36, around 36.
Dang.
So yeah, don't hold me to it. But that was just a wild stat. But yeah, that is
That is
hockey.
crazy.
We're gonna be talking about some football. Week 5 is history. Week 6 is a mystery. But I want to talk to a little certain somebody by the name of Jay Branch. Hey, man, Sunday night, Cowboys versus 49ers. To be quite honest, I thought it was a home game because I heard so many Cowboy fans in that stadium. But unfortunately, 49ers came out with a dub 42-10. I want to turn it to you first. Who is to blame? Mike McCarthy or Dak Prescott or other?
I'm not gonna lie. There's not many games where you could say literally everyone, and I'm glad they can get it. The Jets fans laughing because we literally pieced him up just a few weeks ago, but I'll let him get his
That's
little
all we're
joy.
talking about.
But it's all good. But my point is, really, man, it was one of those performances where you can't blame one person, you can't blame two people. Literally, we just got outplayed. We got outplayed. And I will say, maybe a lot of times when that happens, though, it usually is coaching. If a whole team doesn't seem prepared, usually it is coaching. I don't want to hit the panic button because only week 5, but it was super disappointing. Offense looked horrible. Defense looked horrible. Special teams, man. Like, there was nothing really that went well on Sunday. Nothing at all. But yeah, all 22 of their players outplayed every single one of our 22. Really, what's crazy though, our offensive line did not do a bad job when it came to pass protection and everything. It just like I don't know what y'all saw when I was watching them. It seemed like almost nobody was getting open either though. Like even like every throw, you could be like, oh, maybe like it seemed like every throw there was no one. Like there was no one. Brandon Cooks wasn't really getting open. Even there was a few times it like showed replays of CD running his route, and I was like, dude, he was pretty clamped up. So, like I said, just nothing. Maybe that's scheme, offensive scheme. Like I said, I don't want to hit the panic button, but man, that is definitely a performance to like throw away in the trash and just say, hey, it's week 5. Hopefully we can come back stronger, which I'm kind of scared of. The Chargers are a scary team coming off a bye week and just a scary team in general. So, man, we got to get it together this week for sure.
Grigsby, what are your thoughts?
So like I said, I mean, no, I mean, they got beaten all 3 phases, right? It wasn't like, I mean, Dak had 3 interceptions, but it wasn't like they were like game breaking, back breaking. And the game was already kind of getting out of hand. Some of them came kind of late. They're trying to score, right? Like, or before, fourth quarter and we see backups. But I don't know if this says more about like how bad Dallas is to like how scary San Francisco's looking, dude. Brock Purdy looking nice. Like, that's why everybody's like, oh, yeah, he got all these weapons. He's got the coach. He got the system. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I mean, dude, he doing things Jimmy Garoppolo never did. So, and like, that was his big test. Dallas defense up until this point, they allowed 41 points through the first 4 weeks. They allowed 42 this week. So, like, this is his real big first test on, like, how he's going to handle, like, a real defense. And, like, I think Shanahan did an excellent job of keeping Parsons out the game and like always pulling a lineman over to him from across the field and hitting him, or a tight end or running back. Like they did an excellent job of like making Micah Parsons not a part of the game. So like I said, I don't know. Like, I think Dallas has things to work on. I think Mike McCarthy is like, I mean, I think he's a decent coach. He obviously won a Super Bowl. I don't know if he's like the answer. I don't know if Dak Prescott is the answer. But like I said, I think this more says about like how scary San Francisco is, dude. A couple weeks, we might be talking about, we're going to probably have an episode about like, hey, man, are these guys going to go 20-0, but they have like 4 or 5 wins already by 30 plus points. So they're looking scary, man.
Whittle, I saved the last for you just because you and Jay love to go back and forth. We got to hear about it earlier before we even started episode, but your thoughts?
I mean, listen, prior to last week, the Cowboys looked like a really good team. Okay. And when you take a step, and we kind of talked about this briefly. I bet if you go back and look at the episode where we first talked about the Cowboys and like where they stand in power rankings and blah, 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 we looked at the strength of their schedule, and like it's a decent schedule, but the opening of the season is definitely the week. Like the Cowboys are now entering their toughest part of the season. I think now we're going to see, do the Cowboys live up to the hype that they created at the start of the year? When you look back and see who them boys played, they played the Giants, who are just doo-doo caca.
Worst team in football.
They played the Jets, who were coming off of tears about Rodgers still, and figuring out the Zach Wilson, becoming the starter, and singing the woes that came with that, because that obviously wasn't to be expected. Then they played the Cardinals, who are surprisingly who put up a good fight. And it's funny to look back and think about all the memes that came out about the Cardinals, about them going 0-16, and then they pulled off that huge upset win. But the Cowboys still look sharp there. And then the Cowboys played the doo-doo butt cheek Patriots. And then, so that's four teams that, aside from the Cardinals, and the Cardinals was an upset win. So aside from them getting that win, those 4 teams are easier teams in comparison to the rest of Dallas's schedule. So I think we will see who Dallas really is in the coming weeks. And if I had to put my money on it, they probably trash.
So can I say one thing real quick, Mr. Cooley?
Nah, they're not trash. They're not trash. But I don't like
Go for it, Jay.
All right, so my thing is, first off, I love how you just skipped over the Jets. If you don't know if they're good or bad because they're trash. But
they're looking kind of tough.
Who, the Jets?
All right.
Yeah.
They're not.
The Jets are tough. We're in our stride now.
And we 30 pieced them. All right. So
you did 30 pieces. The score was 30. They're 30-10. That's 20.
Okay.
And don't know math.
It was a blowout.
No mocks.
It was a blowout. All right. Here's my thing.
No mocks.
Here's my thing. I will say something that's showing a lot is we miss Trayvon Diggs.
Hold on, wait, pause. Wait, hold on. Didn't the Cowboys just get 30 pieces?
Oh my God. Wait.
Bro, we're not doing that right now, man.
30.
We 20 piece you. That's like if me and Whittle got to fight and I knock his ass out and he talking about how somebody else knocked me out. You know what I'm saying? We beat you. I knocked you out. All right, that's what we did. We knocked y'all out. All right. Point is, here's my thing. What's a crazy stat I saw today, this weekend was after that 49ers game, with Trayvon Diggs, we had the number 1 pass defense. Without Trayvon Diggs, 30th. That is huge. And then Deron Bland got hurt middle of the game. I don't know if y'all saw that. Deron Bland, who balled last year as a rookie, but was balling this year. He has one of the highest coverage grades in the NFL right now. He got hurt. And literally the very next play, that I don't know how to say his last name, that we traded for the Dolphins. Yeah. First play, they go right after him and it's complete pass. They end up getting called back, but it was 40 yards. Then Jordan Lewis gets more playing time. They attack him. It's like, man, like, I don't know what we can do. Because now Leighton Vander Esch, I don't know if y'all saw that. Now he's hurt. He's gonna be out for like 4 to 6 weeks. I'm like, man.
That was scary, man. I'm glad. I'm glad he's still like
I do
he got
remember.
limb movement, bro. That was nasty, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oof, that looked
Neck
rough.
injuries, and he's had problems with his neck before
Yeah,
too.
he has, yeah.
So, like, man, we are catching a little bit of the injury bug pretty early, especially on defense. But yeah, they're gonna get tested. They're gonna get tested these next few weeks. But that Trayvon Diggs, that's really showing that we really miss him.
Hey, real quick. So do you blame the players more, or do you blame the coaches more?
Offense or defense?
Just all around.
Dang, if it's all around, then it has to be coaching, right?
I would think so. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I would put the blame, dude. Y'all got players. Y'all got some bad dudes, especially the offensive line, the defensive line. Y'all got playmakers all over the field, dude. And I think they are quickly approaching the end of the Dak Prescott experiment.
Don't say that.
Well, hey, one thing's for sure. It almost sounds like Dallas is the defensive, or I'm guessing the Ravens whenever it comes to defense. I guess whenever it comes to injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the offense for the Ravens. They're always injured. It's Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
So overall, it just sounds like they need better trainers.
Yo, seriously.
Didn't the Cowboys lose like 2 offensive linemen?
This is the first time. This was the first time that all starting 5 of the Cowboys, like all their dudes were all together for this game. This first time since what, 2021?
2021.
Yeah. Since they had all their dudes for this game. First time in like 2 years. So
All right. Let's go over to what's almost like college football. I know we talk a lot about NFL, but I want to get down to what's probably the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft. Of course, I'm talking about USC quarterback Caleb Williams. Now, this is the topic that's been going on for probably the beginning of the NFL season. Which team is going to pick him up to represent their franchise? So, you guys could chime in. I got 5 teams that should pick him up.
Are you saying that these 5 teams should tank?
Not tank, because we've seen it last year that, Carolina, they didn't necessarily need the first round pick. Or if they wanted to, they're going to give away their traits. So if anything,
they went and got it. Chicago gave it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had to offer it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, but these are the 5 teams that I believe either tank or give up some draft picks to get the number 1 pick. So number 5 on the list, I got Chicago Bears. The only reason why I got them in there is because the other teams below them, not the 4 teams above them, the teams below, I don't see them desperately needing a quarterback. So I got to put the Bears on there. Yes, Justin Fields, he looked decent in the Thursday night game, but I just think that that's kind of on DJ Moore. So other than that, Justin Fields, besides the Thursday night game, he needs to go somewhere else, because apparently Chicago's offense just is not looking pretty tough. And with him, who was injury prone in college, they got to fix something there. Number 4, I got Minnesota Vikings. Now, just because if it's not a 1:00 game, Kirk Cousins is garbage. We've said that before. We're going to keep on saying it until something happens. And with freaking an offense, you got Justin Jefferson, you got KJ Osborne, you got TJ Hawkinson. You have all these weapons and you're 1-4. Come on now. It's all the quarterback, in my honest opinion. So I got them at 4. Number 3, you guys are going to love it. It's the New England Patriots.
Oh, no.
You get a Mac Jones. And then you're coming out like that. You're looking like this with Bill Belichick on the coach. Now, I can understand Bill Belichick. He needs to fix some things, but Mac Jones is not looking like an Alabama Mac Jones. He just isn't. And again, with Minnesota Vikings, you have the weapons, but having him as the quarterback, something's got to change. Number 2, the New York Giants. And I know my camera is glitching, guys. Come on now. None of all this texting. Come on now.
Turn it off, turn it back on real quick.
I'm going to turn it back on after this. But New York Giants, because Danny Dimes, holy crap. Daniel Jones, he ain't dropping dimes. He's dropping nickels. He's dropping pennies, all right? He is not and Jay even mentioned it before. That you gave him all that kind of money. Man, I can't wait to face you.
Yes.
It is ridiculous with the New York Giants franchise. So I got them at 2. And number 1, obviously, I got the Denver Broncos. Dude, Sean Payton, he's thrown so much shade at these former coaches. And then you're coming out 1-4. You might you don't even need to tank. Just play like you've been playing, and you're still going to get the number 1 pick. Russell Wilson, he ain't the guy. He was the guy in Seattle. He wasn't the guy last season with Seattle. He wasn't the guy the first season with Denver, and you're still proving my point in this year. So those are my 5. Caleb Williams, he's obviously going to be the number 1 overall pick. The question is, who is going to tank or who's going to trade to get that number 1 pick? Do you guys agree?
So I think those are pretty close to the teams. You said you had Giants at 2, right?
Yes.
So I would put Giants way, like, I mean, I think Giants at the very top of the list. I'm going to throw one out there, right? So like, they're not necessarily about it. So 1, I disagree with the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson's actually been kind of balling out this year, low key, right? A lot of it's garbage time, a lot of it's trying to come back, but his numbers have drastically improved over last year. I'm not gonna say he's fixed or the Russell Wilson of the old. They owe him a ton of money, right? So like they're gonna have to play him. I think they're stuck with him for at least a couple years, at least another year or 2. So I think they're out of the Caleb Williams race. But I think the Giants are good. I think the Patriots are good. I would throw the Cardinals in there. Chicago, right? Just because they can go back to back, possibly, with Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and like damn, bro, watch out, you know. But I'm gonna throw a team out there that, like, I think they're gonna do all right this year, but they need a quarterback. Imagine Caleb Williams on the Atlanta Falcons.
Don't say
yeah, that hurts, bro.
Yeah,
now. So yeah, right. No, yeah, because Carolina was what, the 9th or 10th pick or something like that this year, and they traded up. So watch out, dude. Watch out for Atlanta. They got a nasty defense. Like, their defense is looking all right. They got playmakers all over the field. They've invested 3 number 1 picks into offensive weapons the last 3 years. They just missing a quarterback. They're a quarterback. They are a true quarterback away team.
Now, please forgive me because I didn't put the Cardinals in because I don't know what they're doing with Kyler Murray just yet.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think they're gonna draw. I think they're gonna trade him, right? Like, all the people in power right now, the coaches and everybody else, like they weren't the ones that drafted him. Now, like, you could end up seeing him go to somewhere like the Giants or something like that. But I think honestly, I think the top 3. If I was to give a top 3 right now, it would be Giants, Patriots, and the Falcons. Right? Like, the Falcons be nasty with Caleb Williams.
I'm looking at the Falcons. I feel like the Falcons low key been flying under the radar.
Yeah,
but they're another team. I'm looking at their season right now. Dude, well, I guess it's to your point that you're saying that they need a quarterback, but
right.
They've played essentially nobody this year too. But I guess that defeats purpose. But to your point, yeah, if they had a quarterback, they'd be a complete team. The first team that came to mind for me was Chicago. And I can imagine I can imagine Chicago trying to rebuild their program. I can imagine Chicago trying to rebuild their program, trading Fields because he is still a good quarterback. Like,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he be looking
Fields
nice.
landed
He
on
be
a
looking nice.
bad team. He landed on a bad team with basically no weapons and like didn't get to flourish. Wherever Fields ends up going, if he ends up going somewhere else, that team needs to treat him like a rookie and like start from
Yeah.
square one, and they'll be happy
Okay.
with whatever they get. And then the Bears are kind of figuring it out now, but it's a little too late for Fields, in my opinion. But if they, get first round pick, then they can start on basically get a do over. I don't want to see the Giants do well and get good picks because I hate them.
Me too.
And I don't want the Patriots
No.
to get them and do well because I hate them more. So
Yeah.
those
Trust
are
me,
my
I hate
reasons.
them even
And
more.
I would also hate to see Caleb Williams go to like a garbage franchise where like they're not going to support him. They don't have the line to help him
Like
out. They don't have
Lawrence.
weapons, and that would definitely be the Giants fall in that category, bro. Where like they're gonna waste
Yeah.
his talent.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell you
What
what,
you got?
all right. I don't know if you can waste this guy's talent. I think this guy's a generational guy.
Sure.
Bro, who I think whoever gets that first pick, he's one of those guys like Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Trevor Lawrence. When you get that first pick, I don't know which one you can trade away. I think if you have that last pick, as long as you have to keep,
Sure.
and if you're the Cardinals, if you're the Bears, like I think I agree with Whittle whenever he said that. If I'm the Bears and right now they have the Panthers pick who's 0-5, like I like Fields, I'm a fan of him, but they're gonna get a new coach to come in too, probably. Right? And if you're a new coach comes in, you're gonna want your guy to be able to say, like, that's my quarterback. And what better person for a new coach? Like, for a new coach to be like, hey, Caleb Williams is my guy. They're gonna have so many coaches line up for that job because of that first overall pick and because of Caleb Williams. I'm like, you have to do it. And I wouldn't. I need the Cardinals. I hope the Cardinals are up there because I'll tell you why I do not want to see the. It's obvious why I don't want to see the Giants because in our division, and I would hate to play this. I would hate to play this guy for the next 15 years. And the Patriots, I don't want to see them go from elite quarterback Tom Brady, the GOAT, to like a few bad years to another elite guy.
Caleb Williams, yeah. That's fair.
They had their time with their guy, their generational guy. They don't deserve another one. I hope they stay in the dumps. How bad that may sound, I don't care. I know Ryan agrees on that, but
100%.
They had their GOAT. They can take 20 years off, right?
And then like so there's also another scenario, right? Where like what if Dak got sent to one of these bad teams? They give up their first rounders, and then Cowboys end up scooping them up.
Yeah, but the Cowboys won't drop to first pick overall.
I don't know.
Well, if they trade Dak, they could possibly get another first rounder out of that, right? And then you pair your 2 first rounders to somebody to get that number 1.
This guy's probably going to take like 3 or 4 first rounders.
Yeah, I mean Trey Lance took 3.
Yeah, this
guy was that was at number 4 overall.
Yeah, this guy's gonna this guy's.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You're gonna need 4, and then a bunch of other stuff.
Right, players. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
So, like I said,
I don't really keep up with college ball, so I mean, like,
no, yeah, he's like so like his only comp that I've seen anybody comp him to is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
When you watch
that's his comp. Yeah, if you watch him play, bro, that's what he does, bro. He's so good, like on unscheduled plays where he gets out of the pocket and like he just makes it happen, bro.
Bro, you know what's
like,
crazy?
Oh yeah, so and just chucks it, bro.
It
like he does a sidearm, like he does all of it, bro.
It like when you watch, it looks like he does not belong out there. Like
right.
It's weird.
You ever see those 13-year-olds, that are like 6'6", and you're like, wait, what's his birth certificate? You're like, what's going on here? Like that's what he looks like out there with like Division I college players. It's ridiculous.
Right now, he has 22 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns, and 1 interception.
Yeah, balling.
Oh,
balling.
He has 20. What was that? 28 touchdowns.
Yeah, 22.
All right, so
6 rushing.
I'm dealing with camera issues.
Yeah.
It's probably because that we're just taking forever about this, and we probably just took forever to prepare for this.
This is an important subject.
Hey, not to take an hour out of our time, but hey, let's go ahead and get to the next topic, and that's my favorite. Grigsby, go ahead and assist me. It is time for our locks of the week.
All right. So we got some new graphics for y'all. We're going to be showing every week. Y'all will see these on our Instagram. Be sure that you like, follow, and subscribe. Capping at the Bay.
Let's go.
See that? We good?
Let's go.
It is looking legit right
All
here.
right.
So,
Yeah, we looking like a real podcast now.
we are. So, obviously, I'm going to go first.
Just got to get Cooley's
Not
record
looking
up.
so good. I'm 8-17. Hey, a wise man once told me it's easy. It's much harder to go 0-5 than to go 5-0. Okay. So I'm going to hold him to that, but I've had the worst season of my life so far. I'm going to make it better, and it's going to be even or better once the season ends. So first up, I got San Francisco going to Cleveland. I got the 49ers at -5.5. Closest game so far this season for the 49ers. They beat the Rams by 7. However, so far this season, 49ers are 4-0-1 against the spread, while Cleveland is 2-2 against the spread, and they're 1-2 at home. Going to Cleveland and having just an amazing game Sunday night. Come on now. You're going to keep that train rolling. So 49ers at -5.5. Next one. Going to Miami. I got the Miami Dolphins killing the Carolina Panthers by at least 14. And their 2 home games so far, the point differential for the Dolphins is +65. Obviously, that's including the Broncos game where they won by 50, but +65 for the 2 home games. Meanwhile, the Panthers' 3 away games so far this season, point differential is -42, averaging at -14. So it's looking pretty good for Miami. I don't see anybody stopping them anytime soon, so give them to me. Next up, I got Baltimore. It says at Tennessee, but really they're in London, and that's why I have it at under 40. So since 2021, after the COVID year, in London games, the under has hit 4 out of the last 7 times. I'd see that happening now. Baltimore, they lost against my Pittsburgh Steelers. I can see them shutting out Tennessee, and it's going to be around a 28-3 victory for Baltimore. Obviously, hitting the under. Next up, Dallas at Los Angeles Chargers. I'm hooking my boy up with Dallas -1.5. It's a revenge game. And Jay, you probably didn't know about this. In 3 seasons, including this season, the Cowboys have never lost back-to-back games in regulation. And I just do not see the Cowboys losing by 1 point. They are going to blow out the Los Angeles Chargers and finally be in at least the NFC Championship conversation. And then finally, lockdown of the week, I got New York Giants at Buffalo. I got Buffalo at -14. It's another revenge game going against the Giants. Going to London, they lost. But you go back to the Giants, 1-13 in primetime games for Danny Dimes. That is ridiculous. And this is the Sunday night game.
You don't even have to explain yourself, Cooley. Them boys is trash.
He's the new Kirk Cousins.
It is legit trash. Give me Buffalo -14.
Keep that one simple. Boys is garbage. They gonna lose by
yeah, they
2
hot
touchdowns
garbage.
More.
Hot garbage. The first so and for the record, another wild stat. So last week they finally scored their only first half touchdown of the entire season. It was a pick 6, not an offensive touchdown.
Dude, a good play though.
It was a good play. It was a heads up play. It was a heads up play. That's fair.
It was a good play.
All right. Moving on. So my two locks of the week here. So far, I'm 11-6. Man, these records are looking a lot better on this slide.
Ooh.
I got my two locks of the week here. So New England at Las Vegas, under 41.5. The only thing New England does kind of decent is defense. We'll see what that looks like without Matthew Judon. It didn't look great against the Saints. The Saints are not Las Vegas. I think the Saints are a little better than that. I think Belichick will do a good job shutting down his old homeboy, Josh McDaniels, on offense. So I see under 41.5 here. Obviously, New England's not putting up any points. My second one, I got Detroit at Tampa Bay. Detroit -3. Tampa Bay's looking frisky. I think this is one of those rare instances where the bye week is not going to do them any good. I think, right? Like normally you get a bye week, you get a chance to heal up, right? But Buccaneers were supposed to be trash this year. Everybody was down and out on them. They were gaining some momentum. I think the bye week actually hurts them in this instance because they were looking hot. So I got Detroit covering -3.
On to Jay.
Oh, it's me. Hey,
Undefeated.
5-0. We're going to try to keep this thing going all year. It's probably not going to happen, but we're going to try. All right. Right here, we got Indianapolis at Jacksonville. I got Jacksonville -4. One thing I'm nervous about is little Gardner Minshew revenge game, and the Jacksonville's coming back from London. That's what scares me. Those two little things. But with that said, y'all, you know what's underrated? That Jacksonville defense is pretty underrated. They've been actually balling lately. And
Yep.
I think, at least I hope, that Jacksonville offense will start to come up. One of my best friends is a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and he's been saying he's been in their Kool-Aid. He's finally hyped that they actually have a roster now. But if you look at their history, like even when they played y'all, Grigsby, they played y'all tough. Their defense did.
Yeah, no, their defense was on point.
Yes, I feel like they have one of the more underrated defenses in the league right now. You'll probably know about them more in like week 12. That's when people start talking about them. But like I said, I'm hoping that Trevor Lawrence will get it going this week, and I got them at -4. Next, I'm with Cooley on this one. San Francisco, Cleveland at 5.5. One thing I'm nervous about with that one, Cleveland coming off a bye week. But this is if y'all are betting with us, listen to this. Put that bet in now, just in case Deshaun Watson doesn't play, and that spread's going to bump up. So this is definitely one of those you want to put in as soon as possible because the odds could only favor San Fran and not much Cleveland. That's just going to be as good as it gets for you if you want to bet San Fran. But I feel pretty good about those two, and let's try to win some money this week.
Yeah.
All right. I don't got a whole lot to say. I'm new to this over/under talk, but I'm going Cincinnati over Seattle with under 45.5. I think that most of the work is going to come on behalf of Cincinnati. It seems like I mentioned before, it seems like they're putting it all together. Mixon's looking tough. Jamar Chase is finally catching the ball and
He finally doing something.
Legitimate yards. Joe Burrow
like a number 2 pick.
threw 3 touchdowns last week. I think it was 3 touchdowns. So Cincinnati's looking sharp, sharper than they have, since the beginning of the year. So I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I think most of the work is going to come on behalf of the Bengals, and I think they'll come shy of the 45.5. And then I got a upset actually here with Chicago over Minnesota. And I know that Minnesota's got other weapons, and reality is Jay Jets didn't do a whole lot last game before he got injured. However, he still is a big piece of their offense. And I think that they are going to, Kirk Cousins is going to have to make, snap decisions quicker than he would have anticipated with a seemingly hungrier Chicago defense. So I think just simply Minnesota making adjustments in their offense because of the loss of Jay Jets for however long that he's going to be out. I think that's going to give Chicago the slight edge to get them the dub. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I think they're going to pull off the upset. So we're going plus 120 money line, Chicago.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Whit.
Yeah, I do like that. That was actually
like
going to
that.
be one of my upsets. I like that. That's a
Yeah.
solid one.
Yep, definitely a solid one.
Get those bets in. Get those bets in now.
Yeah, but get them in
speaking
now.
of that, speaking of that, do we have any upsets of the week? Grigsby, Jay?
Pat, you want to go first?
Yeah,
You got
I was so like I was looking at this and I don't know why, right? Like I just like man, this like is really tough for me. I actually so like I'm gonna go the other way with you, Wit. I think Seattle's gonna get the upset over Cincy.
I can see that. I like that one.
Gino been playing kind of nice. They got a whole lot of weapons. That defense is kind of underrated. Kenneth Walker's a dog. I know they finally look like they put it together. We'll see. We'll see. How well. How consistent. Joe Burrow is gonna be, right? Because that's the first real game we've seen from them really this year, honestly. Where he's because they had they won one other game, right? So, but Seattle's tough, man. Seattle's right out like on that contender bubble right now, in the NFC. So like they're on the outside looking in, I think. But this is I think they're gonna take a jump this week. I got Seattle over Cincy.
I hate to do this. But
Don't do it.
I'm with
Don't do it.
Grigsby. I'm with
Oh,
Grigsby
okay.
on the
Oh, okay.
Seattle one. I feel like Seattle's a really slept on team right now. They're good. I think they're a team. Honestly, I don't think you want to see in the playoffs either. They're 3-1 right now. Like one thing that stood in my head, like we didn't win the game on Sunday, but one thing I thought about was, yo, we win this game. That's crazy. Like Seattle's gonna be right there with the 49ers in the division.
Yep.
So right now, with how well San Fran's been playing, Seattle is one game behind. And I'm sure they're going to match up soon. Let's see what week is that. Well, they'll match up later on in the season. They face each other twice in 3 weeks.
Twice.
Yeah, twice in
They got a
3
nasty
weeks too.
stretch. San Francisco plays Seattle, Eagles, Seattle.
Oof.
They're gonna lose one of those.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna split with Seattle.
I could see because we gotta look what we've seen. Like Joe Burrow had a great week, but can he do it back-to-back weeks? I got to see it. I think
it wasn't a good week. He balled out.
He did. I can't say he didn't.
Finally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I still get nervous about that calf, and I feel like Seattle is a team that's very slept on right now.
Yeah, that pass rush ain't no joke.
Mm-hmm. Finally,
that calf injury.
They've been missing a pass rush for years.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah,
I truly agree with that, and I actually agree with Whittle because I got the Bears beating Minnesota.
hey.
Justin Jefferson getting placed on IR, that's gonna hurt big time for Minnesota, especially Kirk Cousins, because now he's just another Mac Jones.
Ooh, don't say that.
Disrespectful. That is not a fair comparison. That man has been balling, bro. Balling.
He has.
He ain't got no defense, dog.
Their defense is horrible.
Yeah.
Didn't get to it. Rapid fire. No particular order. Patrick Grigsby, top 5 teams in the AFC.
All right. So I think I think all three of us are gonna have at least 3 teams in the top 5. After you get past those top 3, it gets a little sketchy, right? Like because AFC doing, especially the AFC North, bro. The AFC North has just been a cluster this year, right? So like I mean, Chiefs at 1 right now, like they just looking like the best team. Like they have some ugly wins, but like they always have ugly wins. They never blow people out. So I think you got Chiefs at 1. I would still put Bills at 2. I know they just lost to the Jags, right? But like I think Jacksonville did have a bigger advantage than people are talking about, spending all week in London, right? Now they had to like move hotels, so that's all they had to worry about. But that's like a 5 or 6 hour time zone difference, and they spent an extra week in that time zone, and Buffalo gets there 2 days before the game. Also, no one really talks about this. Their main middle linebacker, one of their best defenders, Milano went out in the first quarter, and one of their starting D linemen also went down in the first quarter, and no one really talks about that. So I think that played a huge factor in that game. as far as letting ETN kind of run all over their face. I still have them at 2 right now. I have Dolphins at 3. I would have them higher if they actually knew how to play defense, but currently right now they do not. They are currently outpacing the greatest show on turf through 5 games. Offense is electric. Mike McDaniels is Kyle Shanahan 2.0, but possibly better, right? So I got them at 3. I got the Jags at 4 right now.
I like that.
Yeah, right. Like they're gritty, dude. Like the Jacksonville is a gritty team this year. I don't think you're ever gonna see them just like blow out teams, but like they're gonna be in every freaking game they play. They played the Chiefs tough. They've had a couple that beat the Bills, right?
Yep.
So I got them at 4, and then I got all right, Cooley. Don't get mad at me, but I do have Baltimore at 5. I think you need to send all them Baltimore wide receivers a gift basket for that win last week.
8 drops.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what the Chiefs had against Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Including 2 wide open in zone passes. The Steelers, I do have the Steelers at 6, so they are right outside of that. I think if they didn't have Matt Canada as their offensive or OC, I think they would probably be in the top 5. But I still do have Baltimore there. I don't think the receivers are going to do that every week. So that's my top 5 in the AFC.
All right. So first off, Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins, clear top 3.
Yep.
Steelers, they're my number 4. Because this is completely like trustworthy,
subjective,
not rooting for my team. Do you guys know that they beat the Baltimore Ravens without Pat Freiermuth, the self-titled wide receiver 1 Deontay Johnson, Cameron Hayward, and the punter? You guys are probably not like worried about the whole punter deal, but he was averaging
he's
at the longest length for punts, which actually helps out NFL teams. They are missing those 4 key players and still beat the Ravens. Now, me and Grigsby were talking about it before, but in the last, actually, for Lamar's 7 games against the Steelers, he's only won 1. Only won 1. Steelers are Ravens kryptonite, so I have them at 4, and then I have the Jaguars at 5, just because. I mean, well, heck, do you got to go to London to win games?
Well, I would say that the Browns are the Bengals kryptonite, but that doesn't mean they're a better team.
Exactly.
I don't see it that way, because they're also 3-2. They're also representing the AFC North.
What y'all play each other though, like no matter who's playing quarterback, it's gonna be a close game. It's just one of those division rivalries.
That's like the Eagles Commanders 2 weeks ago.
It is like exactly. It's like it's one of those games though where it's like, man, I'm not gonna lie, man.
And when Pickett's calling his number, look at him throwing dimes to George Pickens.
I agree.
I mean, come on now.
He's a baller.
You saw Matt Canada up there in the box. He was like, "Man, this guy didn't run my -1 yard run I had planned."
Yeah, come on. I can't really put a Matt Canada team at number 4. I just don't.
That's where I'm at.
And really, you talk about the punter. That's Matt Canada's best weapon.
And Freiermuth hadn't done a damn thing all year, bro. I think he's got like 7 catches on the season. I got him in 2 of my fantasy leagues. I thought he was going to ball out. That man had not done a single thing for me.
Wait, who?
Freiermuth.
Oh, yeah, because of Canada. He doesn't like those efficient.
Yeah, he don't like those like big red zone targets. That don't make no sense.
Matt Canada's house shopping right now.
Yeah. Dude, Whittle, Jay, do you have anybody different? We gotta cut this thing short.
Miami 2. I got Miami at 2, not 3. I have Jacksonville at 4, and then I'm with Pat. I got the Ravens. Still got the Ravens. 8 drops.
You got number 1. Chiefs, Dolphins, Bills, Jags, Ravens.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I got.
I got the same thing, except instead of I got Steelers above Ravens.
Yeah.
Shout out Cooley.
Hey,
They
I
had a
hope the
different
Jets
coach,
win
bro.
this
I
week.
think they could do it if they had a different coach.
Mm-hmm.
They got a Dallas problem.
I mean, that number 5 spot comes with a bias toward TJ Watt.
Yeah,
Exactly. Jay, I want to
Without
start
TJ
with
Watt,
you.
y'all would be nobody.
Hey, Cooley,
Jay, I
when
want to
those
start with
jerseys
you.
getting here?
Top 5 NFC
Okay.
team.
All right. San Fran number 1. San Fran at -1. San Fran at 2.
Dylon.
I got San Fran at 1 and 2. I got Philly at 3. I got Detroit at 4. And then I got Seattle. I gotta go Seattle. And then I think I'm gonna still put us there. But if we don't put it together, that could change quickly. But I still think we're a top 5 team though in the NFC.
That's fair.
I like it. Whit.
San Fran, Eagles, Cowboys. And it is funny for Jay to put San Fran in the top 5 twice because I feel like it does start to plateau. Oh, 4 Detroit. And then that top 5 spot, who cares?
I love it.
Yeah, that's how. Like I said, I don't know if y'all saw. Like, I know we like looked at the tiers a little bit. That's why I got 4 AFC teams. In the tier of hey, can we switch conferences? Because the NFC just gets rough after that top 5 conversation, right? Like you looking at like the Bucks, the Bucks or the Rams are like 6. So I got San Fran as 1, and they're not just the one NFC. They are leaps and bounds the number 1 in the NFL right now. It's not even remotely close. There might actually be 2 tiers before you get to the Chiefs and everybody else. So I got San Fran at 1, Eagles still at 2. I think they win in close games. That's what they need to do. They got some ugly wins. Detroit at 3. Detroit is looking nasty. I'm gonna give them a little love, bro. I got Dallas still at 4. I think, like I said, I don't think that was much as a bad Dallas performance as just a really good San Francisco performance. Then I got Seattle at 5. Seattle's looking nasty.
Team to look out for.
I got honorable mention. I got Rams at 6.
I was gonna say that team to look out for. The Rams are gonna be in that top 5 soon.
I agree, especially now you got Puka and Cup out, and they both getting 10 to 15 targets a game. Look out, bro. That's nasty.
Yeah, their offense. Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, right.
They got some guys.
Right. I was on the same boat with Grigsby until he mentioned number 5. I don't have Seattle as much as I love it,
bro.
Hey, I have Geno in every single fantasy league that I'm in, and then he's not putting enough points.
Hey, Justin Fields puts up points, but he on a garbage ass team.
Yeah,
he put up points last Thursday. That's it. So,
dude, but this is Geno's second year now.
But let me just tell you,
actually his 12th year.
But let me just tell y'all, I didn't. This number 5 team. None of you guys mentioned. I got the Buccaneers.
They're 7. I got them as 7.
The atmosphere in Tampa Bay, it's ridiculous. I was not a fan of Baker Mayfield, but I respected his game when he was in Cleveland. Now he's with Tampa, who actually has the weapons. Dude, come on now. You can't be sleeping on them.
Yeah.
No, the atmosphere I have here in my living room for the Jets ain't gonna boost us up in rankings. Right?
Hey, no. They beat the Bills last season in Tampa Bay.
When?
You know why? Last season. You know why? Because of the atmosphere.
Because they had Tom Brady?
Yeah.
No. Now they could be fake fans just because they wanted to be closer to Tom Brady, kind of like Taylor Swift in them. But hey, the atmosphere whenever they know football, dude, Tampa Bay can go off on anybody, especially your Chiefs.
Hey, you just better hope. I think Tampa Bay, I got them right behind the Rams at 7, but we'll see. Like I said, so a lot of times, we get these garbage teams that kind of come out hot. A bye week ain't always the best thing for them. So I think they come out, they have a good win this week. We'll see what happens. But I think they right behind the. I trust the Rams offense a hell of a lot more than I trust the Buccaneers offense.
So all right, then let's choose this. Then I think somebody bet on them already. Buccaneers or Lions?
Lions.
Oh, Lions. Yeah, all that. Yeah, I did. That was one of my locks. Right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like so that's
Jay,
Jay looking a little nervous over there.
Jay.
You saw how quickly I said Lions?
You know what? Sounds like a trap game, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Last time this happened, Seattle won.
Yeah, so Seattle they already had their trap game. They're coming off a big blowout win from Carolina. I think they're really starting to figure it out that offense. They also they blew out Carolina also without Gibbs and St. Brown, right? So
I think Lions are a better team, but honestly, give me the Bucks coming off a bye.
Hey, that we'll come back to this topic next week.
This will be a good one
for
next
that
week.
game. For that game specifically, we'll come back to this topic.
I'm still not a Baker believer though, so that's hard for me to say.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's gonna be like Geno last year.
Yeah,
Geno last year at the end of the year,
that's
Geno
it.
turned back into a pumpkin. I think Baker's gonna do the same thing.
It's hard for me to say that.
I sure did pick up Baker last week. He's sitting on my bench. He's a backup, but